Here, and you got that outfit. Now you get a little distracted. Yeah. So, obviously, whenever we got the ACC schedule, we knew that that this was, playing those teams were going to be really, really difficult, and they are all really good basketball teams. Georgia Tech's, I think, one of the best defensive teams I've seen in a long time in our conference. And they just make you take hard shots, and again, we knew that. We knew we had to come into this game with a mindset of we had to try to limit them as much as we could and take whatever we could on the offensive end. And obviously, they made some shots early that put us in a hole right away, and some of that was on us of our rotations, and some of that were slower than what they have to be in order to be in these types of games. But again, I thought goals that we had set and things that we needed to do, we showed that we can do it. It's still on length of time against elite programs that we still can't sustain for the amount of time that you have to be in those basketball games. And so, but overall, and again, I think we're still learning and growing and trying to figure out exactly our identity. But I don't want it to take away from we have all the pieces, and now we can't let these 4 games define us. It's about what we do from this point forward. That now we've got to be ready to go make some plays, and there's a lot of ACC basketball left. That now we have to go do it.
Lance, when you see from the beginning, when you mentioned in your opening, their possessions were kind of longer, extended second chances, your possessions were tougher, more staccato, how do you make sure that those shoulders stay up and make sure those attitudes stay engaged when things like that happen?
Yeah, no, and that's the most difficult piece of, and still just being able to know that there's still a lot of basketball to play, things that we're doing, and even the Louisville game, and, we're still so close, and that it's a couple of possessions, that really can relax us rather than force us into panic mode. And even today, and I'll be anxious to go back and watch, but again, it was a couple of layups that we missed that then, that would have made us feel better about where we were rather than now it's 10-2, and now it's, 10-6, and that changes so much of it. And we still just have to have that mentality where once we get those plays, those possessions, it's one box out that now they do get another 30-second clock that they're really good at being able to move it and make it happen. That now if you get that rebound, it doesn't matter. Now you keep the ball. But again, we talked, in halftime, and then at the end, it's the smallest details that, that we are still learning how important they are. It's every screen, it's every rotation, it's every box out that we still are that a little bit of that one-dimensional that we have to get to the 3 to 4-dimensional. You're right. But yeah.
Dave, go ahead, Alex.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you mentioned these last 4 games in the conference were probably as hard as it's probably going to get. I mean, you play 4 ranked teams in the ACC in a row. You get a couple of unranked teams now on your schedule. Is there anything you probably want to, improve upon as you go into these next 3 games?
Yeah, and we talked to our players, and again, the whole thing had to be is that these 4 can't break us, and it can't define us. And, and that's because it does. Once you lose, it breaks your confidence, and that's what we have to work like crazy and to get that back. I think our non-conference really helped us be able to get to a point where we felt like we could make plays and play with people. And and obviously elite teams expose you, and then and now you've got to regroup, and but that's our confidence, and that's the biggest thing that we have to take from it is that the mental toughness that it takes to do all the little things. And whenever you're in that moment, you got to go and execute extremely well. And again, Boston College on Thursday is going to be exactly the same. Great athletes, good players, but at the same time, we've got to go and do what we do really well.
Dave, for you, just how was it competing against a defense like that, and how did you feel the response amongst you all was tonight?
I like playing against hard defenses because it makes you better as a player. So I feel like these last 4 games are gonna prepare us for what's to come. Like it's not gonna get any easier. So I think we responded. I think we responded well, but there's always room to grow.
For you personally, switching kind of more so, you were that one going into the season, now being more sort of towards that too. Just how does the second quarter like tonight kind of help that adjustment and that confidence in that sense?
I'm just gonna do whatever my team needs me to do. So if that means switching to the 2, I'm down for it.
As tough as tonight was, Lance, the fourth quarter, the energy was very encouraging from one through everybody, really. Yeah. Just how encouraging was that to see, despite the score being what it was, the battle was still there?
Yeah, no, and that's what this team, they're very resilient. Again, no one wants to win more than they do. And, now it's figuring out those things that we have to do on a consistent basis to put ourselves in position to compete with teams like this. That's what we have to figure out, and they have to really get to the point where, again, it's the smallest separation. And, whenever shots are hard, it can affect what you do on the defensive end, and we're still learning that.
Lance, obviously, without Jayla tonight, just when decision making, was that a factor, and just what did you like maybe in terms of, you've played without her before this season, but what did you think of the response from the team without her on the court as well?
Yeah, no, obviously she's a big piece of what we are, and and who we have to be. She can make big shots and and take some of that pressure off, but too, we played without her, and we played really well without her, and that's what I've liked about this team so much is we have depth, we have versatility, and in the fourth, you could see those young kids that really, I think, are talented, and now they have to gain the experience for, what it's like early in the game to make those same plays, and but again, it does change us, but I think that we're used to it. Is that this team's very resilient. They've, and again through COVID, through multiple lineups, through multiple players, and and I think that's what you learn these days. Used to, it was you pretty much had your team, and now it's day to day, and you have to be ready, and you have to step up to the plate. And who do we have now? We got to go to war.
How fair of an expectation would it be to see her on Thursday?
I think so. I think she'll have a chance, and she's got to do some stuff, but she'll be back with us soon.
How good of a chance with this fourth quarter coupled with the game in 48 hours, how good maybe of a combination could that be? At least that excitement of the ball dropping towards the end, the excitement, and another chance to play and prove yourselves.
Yeah, no, and I think it's, and now we kind of become that pro team of that you play every other day and 3 games a week, and which I think for players it is. You get it out of your mind quick, and you got to move on to the next game, and how quickly you can do that. How quickly you can establish who you are. I think that's the teams that can sustain success. And but I'm really excited to get back on the court on Thursday and play.
Dave, for you, seeing everything for conference games, obviously they didn't go your way, but there's still some signs of encouragement. How encouraged are you, especially after that fourth quarter tonight, with the direction of where this team's mentality is?
I think every game we grow, we're getting better. So I mean, I feel like that's all you can ask for, is to get better every game. With that fourth quarter, seeing our younger players being able to get shots and make good shots, I think that's very exciting, and excited to see them grow and us grow as a team together.
Yeah, I just one more question.
Yep.
And get out of here if you want. You used pretty much your entire bench today.
Yep.
What do you like seeing from the players that probably don't usually get starts or get that many minutes? What did you like to see from them?
Yeah, no, and again, I think all year long, and the way this group is that there's a lot of players that are all at the same level. Is that we don't have those 3 or 4 superstars that can put the team on their back, and it takes all of our kids playing minutes, and and hopefully down the stretch it'll pay dividends on being able to have a fresher group. But again, I think the things that Cynthia getting her back into some minutes has really helped us. I think she's big and strong and really provides a huge spark in the post that can play off of that. And then I still think Malia Johnson's going to be a great player for us. and and just as she gets more experience and more chances to do it, I think she's got a great basketball IQ. She knows what should happen, and now the more she has to do it against elite competition, the better she's going to become. But they really excite me about what they're going to be able to bring in the future.